Hey everyone, it's Joe and welcome back to Humanfluence. We're going to talk about the ego. I've talked about ego death, I've talked about transcending our flaws. But let's begin with the question, who are you? Not your name, not your job, not the face you see in the mirror, but who are you? Most people hesitate, they pause, they fumble because the truth is they don't really know. What they'll give you instead is the mask, the ego. Ah yes, the ego, that cunning little actor inside us all. The one who plays every role, who lives for applause, who cowers at the thought of rejection. It's the story you tell yourself about yourself. I'm this, I'm that, I'm important. But let me tell you, it's gonna sting. The ego isn't really real. It's a construct, a phantom, and yet it binds you tighter than any chain. You see, the ego is terrified of being seen for what it is. Nothing. It thrives on your attachment, your belief in its permanence. It whispers to you, you need me. Without me, you're nobody. And because we're so afraid of being nobody, we cling to it. We build our lives around it. We feed it with accomplishments, possessions, titles. But here's the catch. The more you feed it, the hungrier it gets. It's a parasite, and it's eating you alive. Think about it. Every argument you've ever had, every grudge you've ever held, every moment of jealousy or pride, what's the root of it? Ego. It demands validation. It demands to be right. It demands to matter. And when those demands aren't met, it lashes out. It feels small, wounded, humiliated. But none of that is you. It's the mask. And masks are fragile. They crack, they crumble, and eventually they fall. Do you know what scares the ego more than anything? Stillness, silence, because in the stillness there's no audience. No one to applaud its performance, and without that it starts to fade. That's why most people can't sit alone with their own thoughts for more than a few minutes. The ego panics, it starts to scream. Do something, be something, prove something. But if you could sit through that, if you could let the noise die down, something remarkable happens. You realize the ego isn't the real you, never was. The real you, the one beneath the mask, is vast, infinite, and untouchable. Your essence. It doesn't need validation because it already is. It doesn't need to win, to control, to cling. It simply exists. Like the ocean beneath the waves. The ego is just the surface, turbulent and ever-changing, but the ocean is still. The ocean is timeless. So what do we do with the ego? Do we destroy it? No. Can't destroy something that doesn't truly exist. But you can see through it. You can laugh at its absurdity, its desperate need to matter. And in that laughter, in that moment of clarity, it loses its power over you. You stop taking it so seriously. You stop letting it drive the car. Here's another truth. The ego isn't the enemy. It's a tool. The mask you wear to navigate this world of form. But the problem is most of us forget it's a mask. We think it's who we are, and that's the great illusion. So the next time you feel that sting of pride, that burn of jealousy, that need to prove yourself, pause. Take a step back and ask yourself, who's feeling this? Who's demanding this? Chances are it's not you, it's the mask. And when you see it for what it is, you begin to unbind yourself. You start to live not as the actor, but as the witness. Not as the mask, but as the ocean beneath the waves. And let me tell you, that's where true freedom lies. So let the mask slip, let the waves crash, and remember who you've been all along, infinite, eternal, and free.